Hi, I'm Ben from DMM and I'm going to be talking to you today about climbing styles. Briefly, the four main types of climbing are indoor, which is on a manufactured surface, bouldering, which is low level without ropes or harnesses, sport climbing, which is outdoor climbing with a rope but has pre-placed protection bolts, and finally there's trad climbing, which again is outdoors and with a rope but has leader placed protection which is removed by the second climber. It is worth noting that all these types of climbing could be considered free climbing. That's where your hands and feet are used to make progression up the rock, and the equipment is merely there as a safety net if you fell. Soloing or free soloing is climbing in the same manner, but this time without that safety net. So indoor climbing, as the name suggests, is performed indoors. The first climbing walls in the UK were built in the 1960s and it gained in popularity in the 1990s and is even more popular nowadays. It's a safe and supervised form of climbing done on a man-made wall using plastic resin hand and foot holds. These resin holds are bolted to the wall to create a colour-coded route and are set according to grade. It used to be seen as training for the outdoors, but now it's a sport in its own right, which is enjoyed by thousands of people. In bouldering, you don't need any harness or ropes. It is done on boulders, indoors or at the base of a crag. When you have finished climbing, you simply jump off onto the mat. The challenge is to climb short, tricky problems using a combination of balance, technique and strength. Bouldering can be done alone or with a group of friends. Sport climbing grew in popularity in the UK in the 1980s. It is done outside and relies on pre-placed bolts. These existing bolts have been placed in the rock to provide a safe anchor if you fall. The emphasis is on the physical side of climbing and movement without the same risks as trad climbing. Trad is the most established type of climbing in the UK. It is the original form of climbing where the lead climber places protection, cams and nuts, in the cracks and crevices in the rock. Skill and judgment in placing the protection is needed. There is an element of risk and adventure in this type of climbing, and for some that is what is so physically and mentally rewarding. Climbing inside or outside is a fun and sociable sport. There are lots of amazing climbs to explore in the UK, from Scottish Islands to Lakeland Mountains, gritstone edges to Cornish sea cliffs. Climbing can take you to some amazing places.